extraction, whatever they call it. They ripped my 4 teeth out and we're gonna go over that soon. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and today we're gonna go over my wisdom tooth extraction. Is it extraction? Wisdom teeth being pulled? Whatever. Today we're gonna go over them pulling out my 4 teeth that I no longer have. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna start off with saying I was terrified, absolutely terrified to get my wisdom teeth taken out. Now, there is a quick disclaimer. I did not need to get my wisdom teeth taken out. My teeth are perfectly straight, never had braces, anything like that. They just recommended that I get it taken out. I'm 31 years old, and they had recommended that I get it taken out because as you get older, it's like harder for your body to recover after having, you know, your teeth ripped out of your face. So they had recommended it. I was kind of like, if they're fine, you know, I don't really care too much. And then what made me make the decision to actually get them taken out was I hated brushing them. It was so hard to brush my wisdom teeth. Maybe I'm lazy. I didn't take the extra time to care, but I kept getting cavities on these teeth. So I just decided, fine. 3 dentists have said, yeah, take them out while you're young. And one said that I could keep them, that as long as I keep them clean, I can keep them. So I was like, 3 of you said to take them out. 1 of you says, yeah, keep them clean. I'm not keeping them clean. Let's rip them out. So my story might not be the typical story, since I didn't have where my teeth were crooked or they were, you know, hurting me or anything like that. I may have had a better experience than what you're seeing online. So what I decided was I had done a little bit of research. I had watched, you know, those videos of people where they're saying weird things after they've been under anesthesia. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I've never been put under and I didn't want to do it. So I decided I was gonna do the one where they just give you laughing gas and whatever numbing stuff. So I did that. And I was able to drive myself home and drive myself there. So that was also something that was important to me because I didn't want to rely on someone else to take care of me. So let's go ahead and get into it. When I say I prepared / over prepared, I'm not kidding. I did hours of research and watched tons of videos seeing what people had eaten, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to chew and I just wanted to be prepared for it. I wasn't sure when I'd be able to chew again, so I overbought a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll insert a clip of all the things that I had purchased, and I'll give you a list of things that I also was eating during that time. Next, we'll go into what I was eating at that time. So after I actually, let's start with me getting to the dentist. I think that's an interesting one. Let's do that. All right, so when I went to the dentist, I was nervous. Not even gonna lie. I was so nervous. And I said, I don't wanna do the anesthesia, just give me the numbing stuff. So in my brain, I was like, okay, I'm gonna feel it, because they said I can feel pressure, and I was like, you know what, they say that to everybody, I'm gonna feel everything. I was paranoid. And I went into the dentist and they got me all acclimated and whatnot and ready for them to pull my teeth out. I was sitting there and, you know, they put the thing over the laughing gas over your nose, and you're just supposed to inhale. So I was inhaling because I wanted everything, because I was terrified. I was like, I don't want to feel, I don't want to throw up, and I don't want to die. So when they had the laughing gas on, I thought I was going to be laughing. I thought I was gonna have a good time after, because you've always seen where people get laughing gas and they're like extra happy. So that wasn't my experience. If anything, once everything started getting into my system, I started to hear like poor audio when people were talking. I started hearing like, it sounded like, you know, when people are on the phone and they're in the bathroom, that's what I was hearing when people were talking. So I obviously thought I was going crazy. They didn't say that was gonna happen. So I was like, give me more of it. I'm not to the point where I'm not hearing, you know, some bathroom audio. And when they said everything's fine, keep breathing, I was like, okay, this shall pass. And it did pass. And they laid me down, and the dentist that I had, or the surgeon that I had, was very confident. So that made me feel better. He had this big like tooth stick thing that he had to put in my mouth, and I guess it was to keep my mouth open. Well, that freaked me out at first. I was like, whoa, I thought he was getting ready to pull some teeth, but I wasn't numb yet. And so then once they numbed me, that is the worst part. I got 4 shots, 4 teeth. So when they gave me the shots, that's where I started like sweating from the pain of it going in my gum, and that was the worst part. So after they had given me the numbing stuff, then they're like, okay, can you feel this? Can you feel this? And I'm like, no. And so then all of a sudden, you know, they're going in. And I was like, make sure I don't swallow my tongue. That was, I don't know why, that was a fear. It might have been the laughing gas, but I thought I was gonna swallow my tongue. And he's like, no, this clamp will make it so you don't swallow your tongue. And I was like, okay. Turns out it was just to keep my mouth open, not anything to do with me swallowing my tongue, because I wasn't going to swallow my tongue, but I was a different person under laughing gas. So once they started the procedure, I saw like them in my mouth and then out of my mouth, and then in my mouth and then out of my mouth. And I was like, is he pulling teeth? Cause like I could feel like pressure, but I couldn't tell what was going on. And I had those dark sunglasses on because they have the blinding lights in your face. And I didn't know teeth were being taken out until they got to the 3rd one, because that's when he pushed. Like when I say pushed on my face, he pushed me down, because maybe that one was a survivor and didn't want to leave my mouth, but he pushed on my face. I could feel the pressure and him pushing on my face, but it didn't hurt. I was just more concerned. I was like, oh, it's gonna come out in pieces, I'm gonna swallow it. All of a sudden, the fastest like 15 minutes of my life, they're like, we're done. I was like, you're done? You know, because I can't talk because they put a whole bunch of gauze in my mouth. So I'm texting on my phone. I was like, am I gonna sound like this? Had no idea I had gauze in my mouth because I can't feel. And I was like, oh, okay. And then after I was done, I went straight to the pharmacy, got my prescription, went straight to the pharmacy. They're like, you won't feel anything, any pain for 4 hours. I was prepared for the worst pain. I was like, oh, I'm not going to work for a week. It's gonna hurt. And then after a few hours, like I was just like, is this stuff not wearing off because I'm not feeling the pain that I thought I was going to? And it turns out my recovery process, it went great. I just felt like I flossed too hard. You know, like when you get the floss in there and then you like jam it in your gums and you're like, ow! And then after it's like sore. That's how I felt for about 2 days, that I just flossed too hard. I was more concerned with getting dry socket, and I was more concerned with getting chunks of food in holes and not being able to tell. What I ate a whole bunch of random stuff. So I have it on a piece of paper here, so if you see me looking, that's me reading, because I can't remember. A lot of the foods that I ate was some random things that I wanted to make sure weren't gonna get stuck in the holes in my mouth. So I ate baby food, mashed potatoes, eggs, popsicles, Jell-O, pudding, mac and cheese, and tomato soup. I felt like the next day after having my teeth pulled, I felt fine, like that I could eat anything. It was just more of the fear that was stopping me. If I wanted to have a carrot, I knew I could bite into a carrot. I even did it. I was just more concerned with getting dry socket or food in my holes in my mouth. So my experience overall was fine. I just put ice on my cheeks. I didn't get a puffy face or anything. I see videos online where people have like a face, and I didn't get a puffy face or anything. So it overall went well. A year later now, everything's fine. It's all smooth over where the tooth used to be. And it's honestly the best decision that I made. So I'm glad they kept, you know, being like, get your teeth pulled, get your teeth pulled. Because now I don't have to brush as far. So that's good. All right, so I'm gonna get some water. What I was eating